Sup guys, I'm AUSSIE METALHEAD. I'm doing 150 classic albums by the end of the year. I'm also doing new releases, and Melanie Martinez has released a new album. I haven't heard Melanie Martinez in about a decade. I used to listen to Crybaby quite a lot, and I listened to a bit of K through 12, but I don't think I listened to Portals. I have tried to keep up slightly with the lore so I can at least understand this project, because I'm pretty sure there's the Crybaby trilogy, Portals, and then Hades is like the rebirth after that, so I don't just like miss everything that goes on with this. Also, I'm quite like an earnest reactor, or I try to be. Most people probably say that, but like I try to be honest. So the elephant in the room when it comes to Melanie Martinez is the controversy, which seems like a bit of a light term to put onto that. I do think that that's probably true, but I do listen to so many artists that have a shit ton of allegations and stuff like that. So I listen to, like, I've reacted to Red Hot Chili Peppers, and that dude's fucked a 14-year-old. So like, I can and will, because I write music on the side, I can and will put that to the side for the reaction, and I just wanted to get that out off the bat. So this should probably be the last time that I mention it in the video. But yeah, when it comes to Melanie Martinez, I always found the brand of like Tumblr music that she spurred or like came out of to be very nice. Like actually the only time I've ever mentioned Melanie Martinez was in my Ethel Cain review and reaction, because the way, the earnestness and like the graphicness that they talk about the topics that they do is something I appreciate, and I think it only kind of stems from Tumblr stuff, with like how visceral and confronting that they will broach topics like Melanie in the past with like eating disorders, or when it comes to Ethel with like the patriarchy and all that sort of shit. So I've always been a fan of that sort of storytelling, so I feel like I might like it. I might like this album. But yeah, let's get into it. I have genius lyrics on the side, just not on the screen. Alright. It's definitely different to other prior stuff. I'm not a massive fan of the vocals of the more male vocals on the back.
Beauty and garbage, beauty and garbage. Without it, we wouldn't hold hands. Take what it gives you, look from a new view and build something better this time.
Interesting. I'm completely on the track. I can understand the meaning of the track of basically like we all like every single civilization kind of has these issues and this garbage that you have to sift through, but you have to find the beauty within it, and that's how you're able to overcome it to like deal with these issues and move past it as a unit and be a community and that sort of thing. Kind of like there's like an old adage or something like it's me against my brother, then it's my brother against my family, and then it's my family against I'm butchering the statement, but it's like basically depending on the proximity, it's like we shit Australians, we shit on New Zealanders all the time, but we're Anzacs, so we always fought in wars together. It's same thing with like I guess like the British with the Welsh. They have like this like funny like sibling bantery rivalry it seems, but when it push comes to shove, like I've heard like Welsh people, it's like if it's anything but a world war, I'm against the English or something like that. And I think it's kind of a similar sort of concept of even through no matter what the ills are, you have to band together to beat those like ills. And she details like some of those ills like this civil unrest when it comes to I don't know if she's deliberately talking about like the earthquakes of protest, if that was to do with Black Lives Matter or if that was the protests under Trump towards like ICE and stuff like that, because he has like the last like eight. He has the eight out of the top 10 largest protests in history. He has like 8 of them. So I don't know which one necessarily she could be referring to, but depending on when she's written this song, but I can kind of see how she's detailing like these issues of climate disaster, race relations, all that sort of stuff. I don't know how I feel about like sonically the track and the lyricism relating to it. I like the confrontational nature of talking about these things pretty bluntly, but the message of it can ring tone deaf. I don't know how I feel about it just yet. I'll see how this like transpires to see if I feel like it feels a bit tone deaf, because I understand the message and the uplifting unity of it. But that mixed with the sonic sound of like these Imagine Dragons sort of male vocals that come into the back and these like grandiose sort of sounds that don't feel like they're rooted in a lot of authenticity to me. So like we have these like the guitar strings and stuff like that, which sounds, I don't know, it just doesn't sound like it's rooted in authenticity. Like when we think about like folk stuff, the stuff that gets branded the worst is like sort of that millennial folk pop sort of stuff, and that's kind of the aesthetic that she has in a lot of the instrumentation here. If it was more like rooted in like textured instead of these polished guitar strings and stuff like that, I feel like it would boost the message a bit better. And for the record, all this is just my opinion, so like if yeah, it's just my opinion, so I could disagree, like you guys can disagree with that or whatever, but for me it doesn't hit too hard. Also, if you haven't watched one of my videos before, I'm sorry for not saying this earlier, I do ratings on the side. These are my first listens. I listen to these albums multiple times over before I post them to my Discord, the ratings, and I also post to my album of the year, which that's at 600 reviews. It's near 1,000 now. I saw this channel about a year ago, and I listened to 20 albums across my entire life, front to back. Actually, funnily enough, I think Crybaby was a decent part of it. Also, if you want me to react to Crybaby, if I don't end up liking this album, I'll most likely end up liking Crybaby on a re-listen, because I did love that a fuck ton as when I was like 14, 15. So I'm more than happy to do that. But yeah, over there I listened about before this channel I listened about 20 albums front to back. Now I've listened to about 1,200 in the past year or so. You can see on my ratings there, my average rating is a 6 out of 10, solely because I think I listen to more good music than bad. My Patreon is $5 a month, and you get to request an album. I have 150 people that I've subbed over there, which thank you so much. I never would have thought that could have been possible, but yeah, thank you. But they usually request albums that I would enjoy rather than albums I dislike. I don't really have this channel where like they throw me albums that I'm going to hate or anything like that, but because of that, I think it skews to be a 6 out of 10, because if 150 people can request an album or two a month, then that means I'm going to be listening to so much music that I don't have time to listen to bad music, I guess. But yeah, I say that because spiritually I think 5 out of 10 is average. So when I give a rating, which for like garbage here, it is a bit of a harsh rating, but it's not as harsh as it sounds because 5 is average. But I will give it like a 4 for now, because I don't like the instrumentation much, and it doesn't sound as like creative to me as like I guess like some of the Crybaby stuff where they were playing with like these bubbles and this like childhood aesthetic, which was a bit creative. Where this kind of delves into this faux, for me, like this faux cinematic vibe that like Imagine Dragons sort of goes into a lot of the time when they're getting a bit more campy and stuff. But yeah, let's go into the next one. I like the piano here. It's a bit haunting.
What a fine fellow said his name was Hades. Picked me up in the back of his Mercedes. Long hair looking like Jesus, baby. Guess I'll go, yeah, guess I'll go, yeah, yeah. Making out with that hungopen mouth. Put his hand around my neck, no doubt. Says I got a place way down south. Guess I'll go, yeah, guess I'll go, yeah. All of the girls wearing long white dresses. Did you say we're alone? Quit missing. He doesn't know I'm a jealous type. His face made me wet when you pull out a knife. This is a cold. Can we revolt? I don't play nice when you're not listening. I'll be the first one to steal all your bitches. This is a cold. Take me home. Won't work for you, won't make you no money. Get on all fours, work like a dummy. Now we're all taking turns on the pony. Put a saddle on him, feed him macaroni. Pull his teeth out one by one knee. Make him smile, yeah, yeah. Judy, Margaret, Lisa, and Sunny. Threw a flower on him, looked like a mummy. Crack some eggs on his bruised up tummy. Let him cook, yeah, let him cook, yeah. All of my girls wear whatever they wanna. No
Sonically, I like this one quite a bit
they
more.
wanna control us. We grow our own food and don't need no money. Everything's free and we have our autonomy. This is a cold, or is it home? We see the future and get what we want. We killed the leader and now we're on top. This is a cold. Can I come home? We make the rules and we love on the land. We fuck ourselves better than they can.
I'm interested actually to see how this develops. If like if this track will like expand on future tracks. Because depending on if it expands, is like depending on if I really like it. Because there's like interesting nuggets to deal with this. Like obviously understanding why Melanie's feelings here of like overthrowing. It's kind of like a microcosm of like overthrowing the patriarchy in service of like a matriarchy, and then they're on top. It's an interesting concept, and they talk about a lot of this, like they speak on that sort of thing bearing out, and then talking about, is this a cult? I'm curious if they're going to delve more into that, like why do they think there might be like a cult, or what, like critiquing the system instead of just throwing like blanket critique on this idea of being so, I guess, like man focused, that you overthrow the system but then you end up being the same sort of perpetuators. I think it could kind of also work into this concept of like garbage, on Garbage, where they were talking about like we need to find the beauty within the garbage, because there's always going to be this sort of conflicts and that sort of thing. So maybe this is like expanding on that sort of theme, where even if you think you can overthrow your oppressors, that sort of thing, this cycle will continue in a different form. I'm assuming that's sort of where she's leaning towards, and if that's the case, then I think it's all right. I'll say it's decent so far, 6 out of 10. For for the record, I guess like to go over 5 out of 10's okay, 6 out of 10's decent, 7's good, 8's great, 9's amazing, 10's perfect. I think this is a decent. I like it. Possession. I don't need genius. Yeah. I like the guitar.
I hit my head real hard. I woke up in a jar on top of his blue metal shelf full of trinkets. He dusts me off each day. I'm made of porcelain clay. I feed him kisses so I don't break down to pieces. And now he's hungry.
I like the vocals here.
He's screaming at me loud, screaming at me loud, screaming at me loud. Baby, I'm your possession. Handle me like a weapon. Gaslight me right, tell me keep quiet. I'll go along, diddy-dong. Put me up like a prize. I'll be a good housewife. You won't see me cry when women come by. I'll go along, diddy-dong. Dum, dum, diddy-dong. Diddy-dong, diddy-dong. Dum, 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 diddy-dong. Diddy-dong, diddy-dong.
This reminds me of Crybaby quite a bit. It makes me realize that like I probably, as I said, I probably would end up liking that album if I re-listened to it.
He leaves me all alone from dusk to fucking dawn. I clean up after all his shit. I'm the housekeeper. He comes home drunk at night. Of course, he picks a fight. I try my best to bite my tongue, but it keeps bleeding. How could he love me if he won't see me? Crying with a knife, wanna take my life, never treats me right. Baby, I'm your possession. Handle me like a weapon. Gaslight me right, tell me keep quiet. I'll go
She just has she has a very unique voice.
Put me up like a prize. I'll be a good housewife. You won't see me cry when women come by. I'll go along, diddy-dong. Dum, dum, diddy-dong. Diddy-dong, diddy-dong. Dum, 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 diddy-dong. Diddy-dong, diddy-dong. Dum, 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 diddy-dong. Diddy-dong, diddy-dong. Dum, 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 diddy-dong. Diddy-dong, diddy-dong. Keys still left, drove into a tree, looked around for a minute, people staring at me. I couldn't touch and reverse and all the damage I had. Maybe bruised, but it's not that bad.
I find it very interesting the last bit here, kind of tying back into like the Beauty and the Garbage. It definitely, I like how much she's adhering to that sort of concept. But yeah, this feels very much in line with the sort of stuff that I do remember off of Crybaby, and I think it makes sense why this one feels like the most realized for me, because it's the one that she has the most familiarity with regarding songwriting with. Like I think she does quite a decent job of being able to package these sort of lessons and like traumas and that sort of thing within these pop numbers, and still be able to, I don't know, get the point across without it feeling too distasteful, which pop music can probably lean towards because it's meant to be a polished sound. And she's able to still make it quite catchy and quite a nice pop track, and those being melded together makes for a unique like cocktail for me, because I think it's important to have these messages in the mainstream, and if you musically are too niche, then you're not going to be able to hit the same audiences that like Melanie has been able to hit, because she makes pop music talking about it, and it's not layered under a lot of like euphemism or anything like that. Like if you enjoy Melanie Martinez, you can't enjoy it without how overt the message is. Like you have to care about these things or not be indifferent to these things to listen to the music, because it is so overt in the lyrics. And I like that aspect of it. Like if you for whatever reason don't care about eating disorders or some shit like that, and whatever, or if you don't care, like if you think, like if you're not a feminist or anything like that, it's kind of hard to listen to Melanie Martinez, because it is just littered. It's very in your face. It's not hidden under anything. So I do appreciate and like that. So I would say so far a 7. I'd give it a good rating. Also, sorry if I'm a bit flat. I just woke up. It's like 8 a.m. I do reactions from like 9 to 5. White boy with a gun.
I thought he was cute, we go on a date. I talk about the news, he didn't debate. Went down on my ear, gave him diabetes. Later that night, told him you'll never see
I like
me.
that line. You have diabetes.
He'll never see me. He'll never see me. Pillow talk went awry, a typical guy. Chomped on my flesh, revealed his true side. His ignorance slipped, and so did my fist. Punched him real hard, but it felt like a kiss. But it felt like a kiss. You say you're a feminist, but I know that you're lying, boy. You support the government's Second Amendment in your chore. You're racist, not nuanced. Might as well just wear white cloth. He said, don't you know that I'm a real nice guy? All of the sheep, white people alike, the women, the men, the center spotlight, their ignorant brains called genocide war, protect white feelings while they swipe and ignore. They swipe and ignore. They swipe and ignore. When girl power means no human, no heart, just labels masqueraded for corporate charts and making the bloodthirsty seem like gods to stupid little bitches who don't know the cause. They don't know the cause. You say you're a feminist, but I know that you're lying, boy. You support the government's Second Amendment in your chore. You're racist, not nuanced. Might as well just wear white cloth. He said, don't you know that I'm a real nice guy?
The day the walls of the cities will crumble away, uncovering our naked souls. All start singing, shouting, screaming.
You say you're a feminist, but I know that you're lying, boy. You support the government's Second Amendment in your chore. You're racist, not nuanced. Might as well just wear white cloth. He said, don't you know that I'm a real nice guy? You say you're a feminist, but I
Probably my
know
favorite
that
song.
you're lying,
So
boy.
far.
You support the government's Second Amendment in your chore. You're racist, not nuanced. Might as well just wear white cloth. He said, don't you know that I'm a real nice guy?
Yeah, I like it a lot. Interesting. I think for me, I don't want to like pigeonhole her. I'm trying to see if I am pigeonholing her for like I guess like a bigger reason or something like that. But I feel like the issue that I had with like Garbage and possibly Is This a Cult is I don't have much buy-in to the topics that she's talking about. Where on this one I do, because it starts off with interpersonal, so I'm instantly engaged. Where it's like, oh, here's these figures. We're not just talking about these concepts. I don't know, like with Is This a Cult? It tells a story sort of, but it's like the members in the story. I'm not bought in yet. Where like someone with like this white boy with this white guy that says he's a feminist, that sort of thing. It's like this there's been enough like context surrounding it that I do buy into the story, and then I care about the points being made more. Um, like the storytelling devices on this, where it's like I met this guy, he was nice, and just starting off that way, then these broader like sweeping things that she talks about in Garbage in this cult, I think that details better. But I don't know if I'm like fitting her into a box where like, oh, girls should just write about relationships or some shit. But I don't think that's the case at all. I'm just worried about that subconsciously or some shit. But when it comes to this, I do think it works well to tell this sort of story. And it's also, I'm interested to see how common it is, because my understanding is there's like two types of guys. Obviously there's more broader spectrums than that, but like there's the feminists that say all the right things, but I don't know if they're the ones that would have a Second Amendment and would be racist, and like the people that would label themselves as feminists, like the guys that would label themselves feminist, I don't know if they would have all those beliefs. Granted, I don't know. Like, maybe there are a lot of, like, racist, like, chuds that actually just say they're feminist solely and specifically to women, because it's like, when I'm hanging around guys, there's, like, two types of guys in this regard. There's, like, the progressive through and through, where they say all of the right things. They even will, like, call it genocide. They will do all of this sort of stuff, but they don't actually give a fuck about any of it. There's those people, and then there's the chuds that just hate on all of it, and I don't know if they're lying to the girls, because I don't have the girl like the experience of dealing with those guys. So I wonder if it is actually that common of like an experience. I would love to know with the girls that end up watching the video, like, are there a lot of guys that are like that? Because I see it through like that will like be honest about their shitty, like, conservative, nuanced beliefs, like Joe Rogan shit, but they'll say they're a feminist. Because my predilection of, like, knowing guys like that, not being friends, but, like, knowing guys like that, they would just not call themselves feminists. Or if you brought it up, they would just dance around the topic. Because, like, I knew someone that was my best friend. They dated a guy, and it's like, they were like, oh no, I'm all good, I'm all chill, like, I don't. But then they were like fans of Andrew Tate, or like secretly fans of Andrew Tate, and that sort of stuff would like seep into the relationship and stuff like that, which is cringe. Not just cringe, it's actually gross. But yeah, I'm curious to see. I don't know. I just don't know the type of person that would say all of those political beliefs, but then also just say that they're a feminist. I feel like they would deny it. But that doesn't take away. That's a nitpick. It's not going to take away from the song itself. Also, I'm assuming this might be the only time I actually bring it up, I'm sorry, but I find it interesting with talking about, like, you say you're a feminist, and it's basically calling out these people that aren't feminists, but they're masquerading as such. And what I can assume is that there would be a lot of people, just because of the controversy and that sort of thing, bringing up, like, the allegation, being like, how are you going to say the same thing? Hypocrisy, that sort of thing. I could see that end up being the case, because I know how, like, I feel like I know how predictable a lot of this sort of shit happens when it comes to any cancel arts. Like, if we go to like Joss Whedon's properties when it comes to Buffy or whatever, after like his onset behavior got expanded upon and people found out about it, they rewrote all of the feminist messages in their music, which I feel like is a very reductive angle, and it shows that like people can be nuanced in the sense of like they can have faults and even do bad fucking shit, but still actually believe in the beliefs that they espouse. It's just that is most people are a bit hypocritical when it comes to certain things that they do. Like, I'm sure because I view myself as progressive, whatever, there are times where I'm 100% sure that I've accidentally or without knowledge or whatever gone against those beliefs, or didn't think through my principles in how I acted in that one moment due to impulse or due to whatever the fuck. And just because that happens, it doesn't negate the beliefs and the principles that I hold dear. But like Melanie, clearly throughout all of her music, and I don't think it's just like a facade as much, clearly within her music she has all of these beliefs. So I think like the interpersonal sort of stuff that people might bring up to discredit that sort of thing, I feel like it's a bit vapid, because a lot, we view these people as they do all of these things to circumvent from the actions that they've caused that are negative, when I don't think humans work that way. I don't think, like, you'll get like the odd fucking like Donald Trump or something like that that will just straight up lie and deceive and know about it. But you don't, normal people, they don't do that. And like the hypocrisies, or if they go against the principles that they believe in, that sort of thing, it's so like it's a cognitive dissonance. It's not like a manipulative sort of thing. There's not that many narcissists in the world, if you know, sort of thing. So I just picked up on that because I know, like, I've watched videos of people reacting to Melanie Martinez and that sort of thing, and when they bring up Melanie stuff, they kind of just, they paint over everything, and they don't see, then weirdly, not to use the same words that she's using in this word, but like they're weirdly not nuanced about it, because it's like people, they paint them with too broad of a brush and discredit stuff too easily, when people are a bit more complicated than that, I think.
The prettiest girl in all the land was left alone without a hand to hold or teach or mold or pray. She fell down the sewer and got led astray. Monsters, demons, and all the rest took her soul and innocence. They tweezed and pulled all that was left till she was made a Disney princess.
I like the sound of this. It makes a weird white garbage sound in the way that I did.
Don't drive till hard and 20 bums in deep. I need to drama dump. He says I fight for relevance. The words I feel since I was young. Please don't go. You're the only one who sees my soul. Fuck these other cons.
That's so interesting. You don't hear Americans use that word often.
I've signed the dotted line, and I fucked every devil.
I like this quite a bit.
Faster than they can, faster than the average person. Los Angeles, turn on your TV. Come on, worship me, I'm perfect. Behind the scenes, liquor and cocaine, suffering and pain is worth it. My allowance, bought me everything, still can't buy my innocence.
I find it so interesting, actually, listening to this track. I don't mean this to actually be discredited at all, but the way that she's writing about, like, Disney princesses turning into, like, celebrity stardom, like, I don't know, Hannah Montana, like, Amanda Bynes, all that sort of stuff. It's interesting. The way that she writes as someone that isn't in the industry. Like, the way she talks about that is she talks about all the front-facing stuff, like, the stuff that we know about, if that makes sense. I wonder if, like, in the rest of the track she will be able to, like, she will talk more about it or something, and yeah, talk more in depth about it from, like, her own personal experience, if that makes sense. Because, like, if she's Melanie Martinez, she's in the industry. I actually don't know if she's friends with a lot of people in this industry and stuff like that. I actually have no idea, and I don't care enough to be parasocial enough to check out. But I will be interested if someone does tell me, because it feels like there should be nuggets of the way she talks about this that should allude to the fact that of, like, behind the scenes info, if that makes sense. Like, she is in this industry, she should be able to see a lot of this sort of stuff, where, like, we know about the behind the scenes liquor, cocaine, all that sort of stuff. We see that as, like, an average person. We see the we see all the grown men which are talking about, like, predating on them and that sort of thing. But I wonder if there's, like, if she's seen it personally, because the way that she writes about it, oh, she's probably experienced some of it, obviously, but, like, the way she writes about it, writes from, like, a fan's perspective of how to write this track if they want to talk about awareness. Like, I wonder how deep in the industry she is and how much she's actually seen, you know? I wouldn't be surprised if she's seen a lot, but so far, the way she writes is from, like, a person that hasn't been in the thick of it, you know? I like this sonically.
Grown men asking where I was from.
Alright,
Too young, out late with nothing on. Parents got rich, out having fun. Party at mine is what I sung. Traded my bones for strapless bras and snow. Can't toss this gold. It's my name that they know. Who's all this for? If I'm so miserable, I wanna kill all these devils. We can go there faster than they can, faster than the average person. Los Angeles, turn on your TV. Come on, worship me, I'm perfect. Behind the scenes, liquor and cocaine, suffering and pain is worth it. My allowance, buy me everything, still can't buy my innocence.
I like it. I actually quite enjoy. I can understand having nostalgia for like the Crybaby sort of aesthetic and sound. And like she's always dealt with like mature themes and stuff like that, but I like her writing from like a mature place. Yeah. With like a bit more of a mature aesthetic. Okay, another good song. That's some cool sound design. It's a bit creepy.
I'm a perfect little angel for you. I always say please and thank you. And every time you spit in my face and shit on my space, I still was true. But I feel so horny lately. No, like horns are growing out of my face. Like, I just wanna burn bridges and kill bitches and pour their medicine in their mouth and give them a taste. It's erotica, leave me in the dirt. Call me a bitch and I'll show you worse. Words ain't shit till my knuckles hurt. Keep it coming though. I'm sweet but wait till a Scorpio slides in the mix and gouges both your eyes. Fuck around that much and oh you'll find a grudge for life. Call the cops off you to birth the skull. Gonna wish that you just left me alone. Keep it on me real tight like Sylvester Stallone. Knock knock, are you home? Now look at what you've done to me. I used to let them step on my vertebrae, and now I'm the one skipping and laughing and cheering. It's baffling how magic works. I mean, I lit a candle for this, burned some bay leaves for this, cried to God for this. To turn me into a I don't give a single flying fuckity fuck machine. Basic orange shirt, Santa Monica, pale white skin like Antarctica. My angels put a hex on you. Guess
I like
they
the
had
vocals quite a lot
grudge,
here.
too.
I like how animated it is. Especially like that scream in it before. She has a really good voice. It's interesting how she doesn't flex the vocals as much so far. Like we're like 6 tracks in. I feel like there's been like 2 or 3 passages where she really flexes like really pretty vocals. I think sonically the only thing I'm unsure on is the drums. Like I don't know if I like it dislike it, and that's like just me being honest. I actually have no idea. They're just very strong, and they have a different tone than usual. Like drums.
For life.
I think it's just another good track. I wonder how she's gonna tie all of these, because she's like delving into like the messiness, the garbage, so to speak. I'm wondering how she's gonna tie it all together. I like the money sounds to go into Monopoly Man, which I'm assuming is gonna be talking about capitalism and such. I like all of the messages of the track. I just don't know the song of My Life is so much. Yeah. Wasn't it like Elon Musk or Nestle that wanted to own the moon? I'd say it's decent. I like the message enough where like sonically it doesn't catch me as much, but like I like the message of it. Oh, it's really speeding up. I think it's so important, I guess, like to talk about this track, because if we see like older artists when it comes to like Bruce Springsteen, that sort of thing, they always actually spoke about like wealth inequality and the working man, all that stuff quite often. And I remember like I just reacted to on the channel on YouTube not too long ago, but for Patreon a bit before that, there's like a Mansion on the Hill. And funnily enough, that track's talking about the wealth inequality, income inequality. and how it feels out of reach that he could have the mansion on the hill, where that has just exponentially fucking grown so fucking much. It is crazy. Because he wrote that from, I think maybe even before Reagan, and it's like Reagan onwards, and then every Republican president after that. Massive tax cuts, and then obviously you have like the corrupt fucks, and the Trump administration that is siphoning the wealth, making it hundreds of millions of dollars, if not actually billions of dollars. I think he's made like something like $4 billion since he came into office from crypto scams, from fucking inside trading when it comes to oil stuff, so we can when he does Iran shit and all that sort of jazz. Like the level of wealth inequality that they used to talk about in like the 80s and 70s and stuff like that, where they felt like they couldn't even reach anywhere near those people. That was the difference between someone that came from a working class background to someone that owns a mansion, which like if you have like, I think like, let's say 6 people that are making like 80k a year of Australian dollars, by the way, which is like 50k US, you could rent out that mansion on a hill. It would be a stupid fucking financial decision, but you could do that. You could pay the rent, depending on what sort of mansion, where it is, that sort of thing. So weirdly enough, that's more tangible. Like you can actually get that. You couldn't, but like you could. Where someone like Elon Musk, bro's a fucking trillionaire. Like you can't get that. Like the wealth inequality that is expanded upon in the last like few decades is fucking insane. Just unbelievable. And wealth inequality in itself is just bad. It just breeds, like, we have like studies where it just breeds more crime, it breeds all of that, because it's like, yeah, just animosity towards, why the fuck do you have $1 trillion, dude? A trillion. That is just fucking stupid. And yeah. So I think it's like, I quite like the message. I quite like people talking about that, because the wealth inequality is just got so much worse. And despite the fact that like I think the average person by every single metric is doing better, because we of just like how much power like the dollar makes, where we can buy like more luxury items, we like we have access to more things because of mass production, that sort of thing. We have access to stuff easier and better, but like how, yeah, our lives are just a bit better, just because that's how progress works. But the gap between us and the wealthy is just bigger than it's ever fucking been. Except maybe like monarchy times, where peasants and fucking kings and shit like that. And then people are surprised that makes people radical into like having communist ideologies and shit like that, because like it's just a natural byproduct of seeing someone that has like 7 quintillion billion fucking more dollars than you. It's like, why the fuck does he deserve it? Especially when you like see them fucking talk, because like Elon Musk is not that smart. And if you look at Donald Trump, it's like he's just a really good con man. So seeing that, also like if you see like Mark Zuckerberg talking about stuff, all these people, it's like they're not that dissimilar to us. So like, why the fuck do they deserve that much money? Sort of shit. Yeah.
Whoever hurt you don't love like I do. I've kept my hand in the pot for way What are your secrets? Are they worth keeping? Just let your guard disintegrate. Tell me all the ways you're feeling. What are you fearing? That I'll be leaving. The more you stitch your lips until nothing slips, I could see it. Push and pull like tug of war when you
It's decent.
it brings me to the edge of doom. Next time you fall on your knees, I won't heal you. I'm the psychic, I don't know if you fight for this or find yourself. Cause the next time I hear you yell at me, I am running. Cause you never wanted my love anyway. A detrimental game you play. I won't wait here forever. It's true, I probably could find better, but I think I'm better off alone. I've dealt with ones just like you. If the fall of a memory comes to be true, then I'll know I did everything I could do to show you the depth of what love can pursue.
This definitely feels like a track made for herself, if that makes sense.
When you're out there talking to someone new,
Like I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a track that she made therapeutically.
giving you, maybe she can get some of that too. That's what my love can do. I'm yours for the taking, a piece of clay. Mold me to be what you wanted. They shape me, and I'll try my best to stay. I'll stand tall. Give
I like the
me
pianos on this one more.
all your pain and your trauma bond. I'll be the shoulder that you cry on. Listen to the sound of my aching voice. I'll be here when wolves come to hunt my flesh. I wish someone would save me. Cause God knows that I spend my life doing all of the saving. I guess that I'll just be a cardboard cutout or a me.
Again, like I wouldn't talk about the controversy if it didn't get brought up in this track. I didn't think it was going to get brought up.
I am the monument, the model.
I think this is an interesting track.
Wounds cracked open for them to pour salt in. Expose nerves, a tooth that's pulled. A vibrant bouquet getting plucked till it's nothing.
It's so interesting because I feel like, weirdly enough, I think a track like this, from like Melanie Martinez, HADES and stuff like that, would be seen as a way that she is like manipulating her audience to feel sorry for her because of like I don't know if there's other stuff involved, but it feels like Melanie Martinez, when it comes to the fame, when it comes to all of that, it's like there's two sides. There's like her fans who love and adore her for her open and honesty with how she talks about topics and how they relate to it. And then there's the second, which is like what maybe I'm just in an echo chamber because algorithms and shit, but like all I see is hate. And the hate that I see is about specifically the incident that I was talking about at the start of this video. And So I would just assume that she's like the way she's talking about like pouring salt into the wound. I'm a celebrity. I become a monolith. I'm dehumanized. That sort of thing. It's responding to that. And funnily enough, a lot, as I said, like a lot of people would take this as like a way that she's like echo chambering and like making a cult out of her audience and that sort of thing to protect her. But the way I view it is like, I don't think, again, I don't think it's manipulative. I don't think she's doing anything manipulative. And when I listen to this, it comes across like, because of that, it has to be earnest. Like the way that she's talking about her sort of stuff is like, I've been thrown to the wolves and no one come to save me and I've done all that saving. I would have to just kind of take that as authentic and at face value, that like throughout her life she probably has people pleased a shit ton, and in this regard it would be pretty fucking rough. Even if I believe whatever happened, like it would be rough to experience that, where it's like I've done stick my neck out for so many people, and there's probably been a lot of people that she stuck her neck out for that have done a bunch of shit that she disliked or hated or whatever, but she still, because she talks about being quite a people pleaser, servitude, that sort of thing, that she did it anyway. And to see no one doing it for you, I could understand. Like this reads as earnest, even if no matter how you view her as a person from a track like this, I do think it's probably coming from an authentic place, because I don't think this is something that, if you wanted to care about PR or care about how people view you or care about like how like the hate mob views you or whatever, I don't think this is the track that would do it, because it doesn't really, it just paints you as more of a victim, and when you're not considered the victim, that's never going to be seen as a good thing. So I do think that the emotions that she's talking about here are probably earnest emotions. And I think it comes across.
The weight of your soul again. I'm just a mirror that you live in, statue of everything that you love and what you hate. Tell me what it is that I owe you now. Why run my head to the fucking ground? Wish I could get up and run away, but who'd be there? And when I take off my mask, I wish someone would see me, sullen, bruised and scorned, a stitched up doll with their heart beating. I've said how I felt before, but still no one was listening. Guess I'll go missing. I am the monument, the monolith. I won't crack open for
I'll tell you something on a decent trial.
something.
I don't know how I feel.
A tool that's pulled, a vibrant bouquet, getting plucked till it's nothing. Fantasize, romanticize, infantilize, and project lies. Dehumanize,
I like this one a bit more than the other one.
scarred where once you euthanized me. I'm pillar, an icon, a relic, a ruin, a demon, a horror, a girl who's stupid. I'm pillar, an icon, a relic, a ruin, a demon, a horror, a girl who's stupid. I'm pillar, an icon, a relic, a ruin, a demon, a horror, a girl who's stupid. I'm pillar, an icon, a relic, a ruin, a demon, a horror, a girl who's stupid. I'm pillar, an icon, a relic, a ruin, a demon, a horror, a girl who's stupid. I'm pillar, an icon, a relic, a ruin, a demon, a horror, a girl who's stupid. I'm pillar, an icon, a relic, a ruin, a demon, a horror, a girl who's stupid. I'm pillar, an icon, a relic, a ruin, a demon, a horror, a girl who's stupid. I'm pillar, an icon, a relic, a ruin, a demon, a horror, a girl who's stupid. I'm pillar, an icon, a relic, a ruin, a demon, a horror, a girl who's stupid. I'm pillar, an icon, a relic, a ruin, a demon, a horror, a girl who's stupid. I'm pillar, an icon, a relic, a ruin, a demon, a horror, a girl who's stupid. I'm pillar, an icon, a relic, a ruin, a demon, a horror, a girl who's stupid. I'm pillar, an icon, a relic, a
Girl, you're stupid. A pillar, an icon, a relic, a ruin, a demon, a whore. just trying to get it up faster. Supplement master if his bullshit work. Soup and the smoothies to combat disaster. Carbs don't burn fast enough for what it's worth. Didn't think I'd change too much till they said it. A thread on subreddit is what I'm reduced to. Needles to needlessly say it's the rapture. Cause even I bite my nails wondering if I should. How normal it is to contort and contract all my muscles, remembering still arch my back. And I wash out each day, but my face still has fat. Someone told me the doctor could get rid of that, but I've already got a surgeon who knows me. Tugging down anesthesia while he cut me an implant, 500cc of sexy. I won't lie to you, that man really blessed me.
It's one of the reasons why I like music, but like I would have hoped there would be like development. Well, like Mrs. Potato Head is just it's just a like better version of this, and that was done like 11 years ago. And it's like I would hope for her sake, with the body dysmorphia and stuff like that like across those 11 years she would have had like more wisdom and more experience to be able to handle it, so she could tackle it at a different angle.
Now all that I read is say I think she's pregnant.
Like because of that I actually think I'll write it quite well. It's like that for this topic of like cosmetic surgery I could go to Mrs. Potato Head, and if I want something more like confronting I guess when it comes to eating disorders, like, I could go to orange juice. So I don't see, this sounds mean because it's obviously talking about our experience, but it's like I don't see the purpose of this track because it doesn't tackle it at a different angle. And I would have expected that after like 11 years that would be tackled at a different angle. And like I guess like if I were to be more empathetic, it's like I'm sorry that you're still at this place after 11 years. As someone that has like gone through, I had an eating disorder, and I guess I've been in recovery for a few years. I didn't use those terms or anything like that, but like I would have expected a bit more of maybe like an introspection, because like the way that she talks about this is this way that she talked about it in Mrs. Potato Head, the way she talked about it in Orange Juice and that sort of thing. Granted, those two weren't as, they were talking about other people, it was like talking about a third person perspective instead of talking about it in herself. So maybe this is the first track where she's gonna bear it out, and then on like another album she's going to explore and unpack it a bit more. But if I was going to make art, right, if I made something like Mrs. Potato Head 11 years ago, if I wrote about that topic now, it would just be different, because I've lived through this. I've lived through the life I've done. Like, I have the experiences to draw upon where it would be a different thing. Where like this track just feels like a rehash in a lot of ways to those other two tracks, and there's a bit of like a melancholy and sadness to that because shit, she's been dealing with it for so long. But yeah. And I guess if I look at it through that lens, but that's irrespective of the art. I can still have the empathy for the experiences that might lead to a song built like this being made in this, like right now. But I can have empathy for that thing, but it doesn't take away from the art. Whereas like, especially with this rebirth, it's like, it's not really much of a rebirth, right? Like after you've done the Crybaby trilogy and you're coming into here, what's different about this track? What's signaling this rebirth? Because if you're writing from this more mature perspective where you're talking about, at least like capitalism, when you're talking about all these like societal issues and stuff like that. You're talking from this more mature perspective of someone that is like more observatory of the world around them, instead of like the crybaby character that is like witnessing all of these horrors. If you're now talking about from like an observatory of like, oh, these are issues, I have opinions, that sort of thing, I would expect you to write about this topic in a different way. And if you, it sullies the rebirth if you write the same track as you would do in Crybaby. It's like it doesn't signal the change that this album is trying to go for. Yeah.
The hospital's filled with gold-colored eyes, and nobody knows the measles and mumps don't come close in size. Won't leave us alone, created a packed out room in the sky, where heaven would go, the smiles will grow dust, it kills her inside. And down would you go, but young has gone bastard as a guy. Don't take it out till there are better times. Never had a bad love cost so dry.
Did K through 12 come out in 2019? Wait, when did Portals come out? 2023. It's interesting to talk about like COVID sort of stuff. So, it's not actually talking about the pipe, but it's like using that sort of terminology is interesting. I'm not a massive fan of this. Yeah, like stand 6 feet away, please don't get too close. It's like we're 6 years from it. And it's like you had Portals, which could have talked about it. I guess this she could have held off on this track because of the Crybaby trilogy, but it feels very late. And especially considering the fact that like I don't think she's tackling this angle in a very interesting way. It's like it's a topical track, but you're topically doing it 6 years later. Like I just think it's bad. Like that is easily like a track that you just take off. I guess you could maybe say that like we're talking about like the garbage that's happening and we have to find beauty within it. I guess you could say that like one of the biggest like events is COVID. So trying to find, but I don't know how she's gonna tie all these things together. It doesn't help that Sonic Bad on top of this.
Parasite man, what is your plan? Claim your highest intelligence. Twist with your teeth, meaty and raw. Tell me now, who is a savage here? And if I could have a moment with you, I'd go all your limbs down along your shoe. It wouldn't be cruel, just what you accrued. Pressure it boil
still smoking suits. Rent is high and the taxes due. On a floating rock, burning avenues. Where's the alien? Who can see us now? Mother Nature screams. Death is guaranteed. Silent, can't find it. Falling, dying. I'll say it again, find it. Falling, dying. I'll say it again. Heat to the warning, feet then the potion. Wise heart is origin, trees by the ocean. Keep your emotion, lead with devotion. Kill the oppression, drunk on corruption. Bacteria, propaganda, lightning devices, designer drugs. Breeding the youth, workers the foes. If anyone questions the status quo, the bunkers and the war is what we work for.
It's so interesting because like with these tracks, it's like I just agree with the messages, but like I don't like the songs.
They made it all up so you don't resist. Rent is high and the taxes due. On a floating rock, burning avenues. Where's the alien?
Granted, I like her vocals here, but like overall, I don't like the track much. But I like the messages, so I'm not gonna like shit on it too much.
I'll say it again, find it. Falling, dying. I'll say it again. Heat to the warning, feet then the potion. Wise heart is origin, trees by the ocean. Keep your emotion, lead with devotion. Kill the oppression, drunk on corruption. Rent is high and the taxes due. On a floating rock, burning avenues. Where's the alien? Who can see us now? Mother Nature screams. Death is guaranteed. I'll say it again, burning. Falling, dying.
Alright, sonically, I'm actually coming around to it. I'll go decent for now. Re-listens might make it lower or higher, I'm not sure. But like, I do like her vocals, like her voice is nice. And I like the message of the track.
Arrest today after a confrontation over the clearing of a homeless encampment.
We just saw the city.
The use of
arrest
news
homeless people who
broadcast
were on
is
the
actually quite
subway.
good. I think it grounds the album a
just
bit
finished
more.
up clearing out people who had been living on the street here.
I think it grounds it quite well, actually. Very, This could be like the best track. There's a nice context to go into.
Houses get stolen by corporate erosion. Winters come with nowhere to hide out. Don't sleep 'cause they'll find out. Nobody ever thinks they'll end up broken till they're out there frozen, screaming. They're crazy till you're the one begging for food for your baby. Don't see the pain, see the harm, see the coffins on their arm, see the truth, see
I think
the lies.
it's a macro production issue that I have. So we're talking about like very serious topics, and obviously the way that she writes about them, it seems like she cares about them. Her voice and the vote and like the way that they construct the sonics around the message, I don't think fits. With Crybaby, it kind of does. It's like waning sort of vocals with this like wispiness to it, but there's like pain in there. Kind of makes sense when you're looking at like Crybaby, looking at all the traumas surrounding her, right? That makes sense. But I don't think it works when it comes to this. I don't know who, like, we haven't built up Hades' character too much, or whoever the character is meant for Hades. We haven't built up this like rebirth that too much, for me to truly grapple like the type of character that she is or they are. But with this track, there's like you can tell with the chorus that they're trying to infuse I'm just gonna say punk energy, like the energy of like the anger, the angst, and stuff like that. But because she won't change the vocal styling of her voice, they have to do it through this beat, and because of the vocal styling of her voice has a very Alice in Wonderland sort of vibe, like think Mad Hatter or something like that. There's the Alice in Wonderland sort of shit. Instead of we going through like a circus sort of production about a topic that is important, that she seems to be writing from with a lot of like that she cares about, but it doesn't come across that well because she's not changing up her styling. If she just changed up how she sang, maybe had a bit more grit to it or a bit more anger instead of this like wispy beautiful vocals, which she is known for, but just because you're known for it doesn't mean you need to stick to it, your guns, the entire way through. And I'm pretty sure she's like a really like she can be a versatile singer. So I think if she wanted to challenge herself or something like that, it would be, if you want to do a track like this, don't let the beat have like the fury. Have yourself be the fury when you come with the vocals. Don't like this Alice in Wonderland sing-songy approach. Just tonally, I think, mismatches with the topics that she's trying to talk about, especially because this is not an ideal, like this is not a fictional world that she's building. She's not building this crybaby character. She is specifically talking about the issues currently, and to have the same sort of tone as you would do in a fictional world talking about this stuff compared to the real world where you're referencing a lot of stuff that's happening now, like you're referencing COVID, you're referencing Black Lives Matter probably on the first track and all of that sort of stuff. Tonally, I think you need to switch it up to match, and she just doesn't do it on this track, and throughout most of this album she doesn't do it. And that's the reason why I think when it comes to the more interpersonal tracks, that's where her voice works the best, because it harkens back to the Crybear era where they're talking about an interpersonal sort of perspective, and that vocal suits that. But when we broaden the scope, it washes it away and makes it feel a bit icky to me. Yeah.
Severed family ties, seeds down where they reside. Money don't fall out from the sky.
Like the vocals here have a bit of fury to them, but like this beat totally doesn't fit it. Like, it sounds like Five Nights at Freddy's a bit, or something like that. Like,
lock them in jail and make them work for free. Nobody ever talks to their neighbor. Do they need a favor? Come to the forest and build your community. Don't get immune to this. Don't see the pain, see the harm, see the carvings on their arm, see the truth, see the lives, see the severed family.
it sucks because like I think she's a good vocalist and all that. So like I like parts of it.
Don't fall out from the sky. See the child, they have a mother. You just throw them in the gutter. If everything's said and done and you're around on the run, I'd rather die than be near you. Evil is as evil does. You could just go get fucked. We'll be haunting you, haunting you, haunting you. Don't see the pain.
Like I like her vocals, but I don't think it fits.
See the carving on their arm. See the truth. See the lives. See the severed family ties. See the town where they reside. Money don't fall out from the sky. See the child, they have a mother. You just throw them
Maybe this will talk
Golden
with Weight Watchers, but
cherry cheese on mashed out abs and pound obliques. I'm scrolling through a mess in my mind. Crawling down the fucking mud. I work so hard, never enough. My body will never be your time. So please don't tell me what I owe. Trends they come and go, but humans have their flaws. High beauty comes in every form. Baby, there ain't no norm. I'm not a doll. Is that what you want? Uncanny valley hard, never enough. Give you all my love. I say that enough. What the fuck am I out of love?
I like the more personal nature of this.
Uncanny valley hard, never enough. Give you all my love.
Like it's showing like the anger, which I appreciate. Like that's another angle to it.
Language where all learning no one's gonna see me coming. Finally, I will shine this time. Laying out in my bikini, Bahamas, I'm oiled, steamy. Your boyfriend liked my pic this time. But please don't tell me what I owe. Trends they come and go, but humans have their flaws. High beauty comes in every form. Baby, there ain't no norm. I'm not a doll. Is that what you want?
I'll give it like it's decent. Like at least it like takes a different angle to it.
Give you all my love. I say that enough. What the fuck am I out of love? Uncanny valley hard, never enough. Give you all my love. Never good enough. Is that what you want? Uncanny valley hard, never enough. Give you all my love. I say that enough. What the fuck am I out of luck? Uncanny valley hard, never enough. Give you all my love. Never good enough.
I like the transitions at least.
Many men decorate their necks with nooses if they don't uphold supremacy.
There's a bit of like a Billie Eilish vibe to this, I think. Interesting.
Lose their job, kill their wife, those things come round and two. It's quite insane, embarrassing. Money, power, goddess, chokehold on humanity. Nothing gives these motherfuckers quite a boner like religion, Catholic, Christian, kissing Jesus, licking AR-15s. It's so homoerotic, the way you pray to men. tantalizing with the secrets that he must keep in. Bet those robes they wear make you feel kind of freaky. Well, too bad they are all
I wonder about her, like, did she have a religious upbringing and stuff like that?
It's no wonder all the scandals are involving hurting little boys. If y'all just fucked each other, did some poppers, you'd see God and finally rejoice. It's so homoerotic, the way you pray to men and treat your women like a Leviathan.
If I'm being honest, like,
Come out the closet,
I'm a lot more open to religion and stuff like now.
pray to this pussy.
I'm never going to believe in it, but I don't have the same, like, edgy atheist sort of take, but, like, for whatever reason, this is tapping into that past part of me that I don't hate. I don't hate it.
Don't repress yourself, express yourself. Scream Jesus, baby, you're hot as hell.
This is a very Chapel Roan
But my like God
bridge
fucks me
vocals.
real. Don't repress yourself, express yourself. Scream Jesus, baby, you're hot as hell. Married, don't quite make it swell. But my like God fucks me real well.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's pretty good.
Like the Vatican. Fall on your knees, get you high. Worship me like the Vatican. En el nombre del Padre, y del Hijo, y del Espíritu Santo. Not far season. All the animals are running. The birds are swirling, warning us that we are next to be extinct. And if the summer what's brought us paradise, drinking poison till sponges.
I quite like it. That's not bad. Like 6.5. I just think her vocals is very nice. Don't know if I have issues with like this album and stuff like that. Like, she just sounds really nice. And like the messages I like. You know, I think it's quite good. I like it. It's so interesting because she hasn't really, like, I like this song a lot actually, but she hasn't really tied the theme of like the concept of the album too much.
That I'm ugly as fuck and my music is shit and that I should just kill myself. Is it my dress or shoes? Is it the makeup on my skin? What can I change for you? What would you prefer I was in? Or is it worse?
It's so interesting because like with these chat room sort of stuff, like
Is it something
the way she talks about it, I feel like 99% of the comments about her body and like hatred on the way she looks and being like, oh, she's ugly, that sort of thing. It's like people not even believing it. It's them just trying to find a way to hurt her through what they think,
What did I even
like
do
through
I'm just
the allegations. So
I don't know why that pisses them off so
it's sad. It's like sad that she takes that as like true. Like anyone hating on her looks, like they're not actually hating on her looks. It's just an avenue to hate.
blazing glow that makes you feel so small and dim. Nothing will stop you. It doesn't matter what I do. You'll never change in your old age. You'll be hating yourself too. I could have fit the mold you made and took what you done through. Still, I could never make you love you.
Like it does. This doesn't feel like, as I said, like manipulative or anything like that. Like this just feels like she's being honest, but it's like I think she's focusing on the wrong thing.
Your profile's a cartoon. Fuck you too. I say when I'm angered, but it doesn't matter. Chat room. You're not unique. There are hundreds just like you. I can't tell if this is a bot, a 45-year-old incel, or a 10-year-old on their mom's iPad. Think it's the way you choose. Every vowel methodically. In the cafe you spew. Your lukewarm takes in me. Is that the way you feel about your own sad life? Project your pain outward, aspiring to be her knife. What a life. Nothing will stop you. It doesn't matter.
Like I think this is sort of true. Like I don't think it matters necessarily what she does, but like the hatred she gets, like I would wager to bet it's 99%, no matter what form it takes. If it takes on like comments about her weight, incel sort of comments or anything like that, I think it genuinely just stems from that one thing, and then they use all those other things as attack vectors.
Make you love you. I'm just gonna delete my account.
I like her voice though. I can't lie. So I'll give it a 6.5. Fuck her. I really like her vocals.
You're not unique, there are hundreds just like you.
know, I like the guitar. Fuck it, I'll give it a 7.
You made me hate my reflection in another reality. I could have loved myself. I could have been myself. But here I am cramming all of your words deep into my veins till it kills me.
I wonder what causes this track.
Ooh, and all your words in it for you. No clue when you even look like your profile's a cartoon.
Weirdly, sonically, I think this might be my favorite track. I like it. I have it. Just like the where she's writing from here confuses me a bit.
You're not unique, there are hundreds just like you.
Like, I wonder when she's talking about this, like, it's not just talking about it very broadly. She might be broadening it for a different for a reason, but like, she's talking about how it affects her, how she's injecting those comments into her veins. And I find it interesting because, like, she's danced around the hatred that she gets throughout this album quite a bit, actually. But she never, like, she focuses on the style of comments that she's getting rather than the genesis of where those comments come from. Because obviously any girl in any woman in the hemisphere, they will be getting comments on their body. That's true. And so, like, you can just talk to that as a topic, but it feels like because of the way she's framing it and how it's affecting her, it feels like it's a personal account of it. And with the personal account of hers, I don't know if she's dancing around the topic purposefully, and then but she knows why she gets a lot of the comments, like a lot of like the weight comments and stuff like that. If you see any girl online that gets outed for anything, you'll see like a shit ton of comments saying that she's chopped and that she's ugly and that she's fat and all that sort of shit, right? Even if they're clearly not the case. That's clearly not the case. And that's just because it's used as the attack vector for, like, the sexist attack vector for women when they view someone as a woman doing something wrong, if that makes sense. So, like, but the action that spurs those comments, the reason I didn't think I was going to talk about this, that's why I prefaced at the start of this video, I didn't think I was going to talk about our like, controversy, because I didn't think she would bring it up. But the reason that she gets all of those comments, or a vast majority of them, more than other women in the space, is because of that controversy. And it feels interesting. Like, I don't know if she's knows that, and then broadens it to just the comments here, or if she's actually purposefully, like, not purposefully, but like authentically, IRL, she sees those comments and thinks they hate her because of her weight. And which, for the record, like, obviously she's not overweight or anything like that. Also, it is even something that, like, I feel like a lot of even the haters could say, like, admit, is like, Melanie's a pretty person. Like, it's weird. I don't think a lot of the comments that are made, the root cause is because they hate her because she's ugly or something like that. I think it's because of they just use that as an attack vector. So it's weird to use, like, I feel bad for her if she is using the, like, those comments are actually that are getting to her. But she should, like, the whole thing of, like, I could never be what you want. There's nothing I could do to please you, sort of thing. That is true. The people on the internet, you can never please them. But, I don't think it's because you could never be pretty enough or never be perfect enough. That feels like it's probably like this. I'm doing armchair psychology, but that sounds like a bad thing for your body dysmorphia and your eating disorder to view this as like, oh, I'm just not pretty enough. That you need to break out of that lens of always viewing it like I know it's easier said than done, but you need to break out of the lens of like viewing yourself through like your appearance. And I guess when you're in the public eye, the way that she is, that's kind of fucking hard to do. But, like, it's very not helpful for like recovery to always view things through that lens. If I viewed everything through like the lookism lens, I'd still be in there. I'd still be fucked. Because and it's also not the be all and end all, and she's holding it up to such a massive thing where like I know she's saying well, like I'm not going to take it on board because I can never please you sort of shit. But she's still saying as I inject it into my veins, it's still a part of me. I can empathize with that plight, but you're not doing yourself any favors by doing that, because it's like the prettiness, the appearance, all of that sort of stuff, it kind of just doesn't matter. You might get treated a bit better, that sort of thing. Like obviously if I like dress well, put on my fucking rings, paint my nails, put on my fucking emo boots, and all that sort of shit, I'm gonna get a lot more comments and a lot more interest. And as a guy, like you get a whole lot less anyway. But I can even see that. So like as a girl, like I can understand it. Like it would be on crack. Like if you just dress a tiny bit provocative or a tiny bit this way, that way, you'll get more attention. I can understand that. So I can see how you could be like you're plagued with the thoughts of the paradigm of the appearance being the most important thing. And I can understand as a girl, especially because we value it so much more on girls, that would be like you're encompassed in that lens. But it's not the right lens. Like I have the most beautiful, amazing fucking partner, like genuinely drop dead gorgeous, but then that's a secondary thing, and I don't think I'm all that attractive, but clearly they do. And the things that like it literally just doesn't matter about the looks at the end of the day. I thought it did so much because of the like the type of attention I get, the way I grew up, all that sort of stuff. I thought that looks mattered so much, but it's like the reason that I'm able to have this relationship, maybe my looks was the first thing into the door. Maybe. I don't think so, but like maybe. But like the reason that I'm still in this relationship, the reason that my life is amazing now is because of my personality and their personality and how we mesh together and our communication skills, all that sort of stuff. So to have like your thing that you warp your entire world around to be through the lens of appearance and how you look and how pretty you are and how perfect you need to aspire to be, it's just, it doesn't actually intrinsically matter for the things that will cause you happiness, like, and will bring you happiness. It will just drive you for like that view, and that look will just drive you further and further into despair. And obviously I can understand being addicted to that, because I have BPD, so I can understand being addicted to the misery and all that shit, but like, I don't know. Feels like she's taking the wrong messages from it. And I could also understand, like, if you don't want to take the messages, because, like, all the messages that she's getting, all of the hate that she's getting and where it comes from, I can understand you don't want to internalize that. Because as much as those people want to throw flames to this person that they view as evil and as done a disgusting thing, for that person, it's not going to be beneficial for themselves or for the betterment of the world if they internalize all of that and then they just retreat further. What you would want them to do is like to take accountability and trying to change and make amends. And maybe she's done that in the private. Granted, us as a public don't fucking know, but that should be the thing that she's taking away from that. It's not the comments on her appearance that should be taking away from her.
I saw the news on TV before the screen got to all black. I saw your face next to me. We had a conjoined heart attack. 'Cause you're the only one, baby, who makes me wet like I'm waterboarded. So deep it could kill me. And right now we could both afford it. Everybody knows it, brothers won't come closer. All too hard and sweaty, baby. Everything
I don't know anything about the upbringing. The way she writes makes it seem like there's a shit ton of trauma there, and like need for validation, like the desperation of like feeling needed, feeling the need to be needed this much. Like I can understand it, but it's interesting. I don't know anything about the life. It's like one of my favorites on the album. Sonically. Might be my favorite track, to be fair. I like it. I like it. I like the theatrics of this one. Yeah, I'm sorry for breaking my rule of like talking about like the elephant in the room a bit more too much. I just think she touched on it a bit on this album. And also, if you want me to react to Crybaby, it won't be brought up at all, because like none of that shit like this lives in the context of after that controversy, where Crybaby doesn't. So if you want if you wanted me to react to it, which I'm pretty sure I'd like it quite a bit, like more than this, it won't be brought up at all, and it would just be an earnest conversation, like exploration and love for the music itself. But I feel like, interesting enough also, because it's in a fictional world, like the Crybaby sort of character and that sort of thing, where this, it has that sort of in it, but it touches a lot more on like the real world shit, and observing that. It's like an alright album. It's a messy album for me. It doesn't give me the same like level of joy or love as I did when I was younger with Crybaby, which I haven't heard in a while. But it's not the worst. And I also I like the messages throughout. I think it I feel like there's a lot of like loose ends sort of thing, like the cult sort of stuff. The garbage like builds up like we're going to have this massive narrative. It's a long as fuck album, so you would expect some of that to be completed, but maybe this is another trilogy and it'll be completed later on. It just feels like, I don't know. She had a lot to say though. Like there was a lot of things that she wanted to touch upon. Like each track had like clearly a different topic that she wanted to talk about. I don't know. I'm very conflicted on this record. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched this far, thank you. This was easily one of my worst reactions because I just woke up. But yeah, I appreciate it. And if you want to see some more on my Patreon, it's $5 a month to request an album that's 50 minutes or less, $8, 90 minutes or less, or you get to pick from a classic albums list. There's 360 albums I haven't heard before that you can request from there. It's $5 for one, $8 for two when it comes to that. if you want to request Melanie Martinez, I would greatly appreciate it actually, because I kind of want to. I'm kind of looking forward to, if it does happen, listening to Crybaby front to back. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Absolutely love you. Peace.